Welcome back to the channel, you bunch of stinky weebs. Pleasure to have you back. And today, this video is going to be about AI and art. I've already done a video about it. It's a big old can of worms in the art industry, and rightfully so. It's quite a contentious topic. Whether you're in the camp that it's progress, whether you like it or not, things are going to progress, or if you're in the camp that art is subjective and is unique from person to person, and that is protected by copyright. And whichever stance you take, this is a pretty interesting topic. So let's jump into this article. Alright, guys, so here is the article. AI art companies and deviant art are being sued by artists. This article is on Kotaku. Basically, what this basically simmers down to is that Sarah Anderson, Kelly McKernan, and Carlo Ortiz are basically suing Stability AI, Deviant Art, and Midjourney. Midjourney is also an AI company, and this is what they're alleging: direct copyright infringement, vicarious copyright infringement related to forgeries, violation of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, violation of class members' rights of publicity, breach of contract related to deviant art terms of service, and various violations of California's unfair competition laws. Because of this lawsuit, as you know, is being pushed through in California. If I think California probably has the most strictest rules for DMCA, and for good reason. After all, Hollywood lies in California. So let's break this down. I think the first three tidbits are all kind of interconnected. At the bottom line is violations of Digital Millennium Copyright Act, or DMCA. DMCA is a very important it's a very important law, right? It favors everybody that has some kind of monetized content out there, especially for artists. So direct copyright infringement. This is because artists' work, copyrighted work, is being submitted to Stability and Midjourney without artist approval. And so doing so is a direct infringement on their copyright. After all, it's their work. If they're not consenting for their work to be submitted, that is a copyright infringement. A vicarious copyright infringement related to forgeries. Now, because they are violating copyright and putting your art into AI generators, they're able to make forgeries of your style or forgeries of your type of art. And so it's related to that. Basically, they're able to use your copyright and make basically your style. They're basically infringing on your style. And they're able to produce a lot more images in your style. So that's why it's forgeries, even though you didn't make it your style. So it's basically a fake piece of art made under your name. Violation of the Digital Millennium Act, like I said before, with the direct copyright infringement. Violation of class members' rights of publicity. When an AI company takes somebody's art, they are not going to credit you. Or if you're an artist, they're not going to credit you. They're not going to give you any type of acknowledgement. They're not going to give you any type of of credit. So at the end of the day, you can be the best artist on the internet. However, they won't give you any credit, and because of that, you can actually you basically they can take work away from you, right? If a big AI company uses your art as a foundation and it produces art and people want to reproduce your type your style of art, it's going to come at your expense because they're going to pay a subscription fee with the company to produce AI generated art. Then they are going to come, compared to them coming to you directly and buying commissions from you. So straight up, they're taking your credit, they're not compensating you for it, and they're not acknowledging you for it. Breach of contract related to DeviantArt terms of service. Now, DeviantArt's TOS, I think, is it's your art. You do what you want with it. It's a portfolio type company. You can submit your files, and DeviantArt gains most of their revenue through advertisements and stuff like that. DeviantArt allowing Stability and Midjourney to use your art without any type of permission is does go against their terms of service, and various violations of California's unfair competition laws. California's laws are convoluted and weird. However, I can see it being against the law of a company using your own copyrighted work to basically work you out of your business, right? An AI can make hundreds of thousands of works while you're still trying to get commissions. They'll work you out of the industry. Um, so it's you versus the machine. You'll never win. So as lawyer Matthew Buttrick says in his post about the case, the three companies are being targeted by writers, artists, programmers, and other creators who are concerned about AI systems being trained on vast amounts of copyrighted work with no consent, no credit, and no compensation. If an AI company, were to cover these three things, I would probably have no issues with them, and many people probably wouldn't. However, most artists would not consent on giving their art to an AI, right? Uh, of course, giving credit and giving compensation, you would think would be a no-brainer. If you're going to be using somebody's art, or you're going to be using somebody's copyrighted material for something, Stability and Midjourney will eventually probably use to sell, there needs to be some kind of compensation. Stability, who makes AI, and Midjourney are companies behind the two most popular AI generated art platforms, while DeviantArt, most commonly known as a portfolio and community art site, that's putting it very gently, a lot of risque content in there, is being included for its own work and fucking up massively, and that's an understatement. And of course, you can always come on here and check out some more details here. Now, it's very easy to note where I'm putting my chips. I believe in creators, I believe in writers, programmers, and people that put in effort to learn a craft and be compensated for their time and effort. If AI companies, are not willing to ask permission, they're not willing to give any type of credit, and they're not willing to pay where they're getting their data from, then it's basically they're basically stealing your art. That's basically what they're doing. And people say, well, it's progress. It's the next stage, and that is true. It very much is the next stage, right? However, you cannot use copyrighted art without consent. There's laws. If an artist has a style, it's their style. If people want to mimic that style, that's fine, because this style will never really be the same unless you can perfectly match somebody's style. It's extremely hard, right? And on top of that, two different people have different trains of thought, and it's a mess, of course. AI companies, at the end of the day, are companies, okay? I am never for companies. My loyalty lies with the communities and the people that make up those communities. And I'm seeing artists push back, and I'm all for it. If AI companies don't at least have the courtesy to ask for consent, how can we trust them with anything else, right? They are going to monetize other people's work into oblivion, and this work will probably eventually drive them out of the industry. It's hard to fight against machines, and artists are right in front of it. Now, I'll keep you guys posted on how this kind of develops. I am all for the plaintiffs here. I'm hoping that they win this case and will have at least a landmark case to push back against AI and something to slap portfolio websites like DeviantArt, um, to make sure they don't partner up with other AI companies to basically steal your work. I have no idea what the hell DeviantArt was thinking. I'm almost certain there was a backroom deal where DeviantArt basically sold its community for some cash. That's what I think, and because I don't see any other reason why DeviantArt would work with AI companies, right? All right, so that's the story. If you like it, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll catch you guys in the next one.